Hey guys, before I get started on my first project here in Salesforce, I wanted to show you guys how you can download your own free developer version of Salesforce to go ahead and play around in. And more importantly, where to go to sign up for Salesforce training, the Trailhead site. So let's go ahead and log in first to the trailhead.com. And this is the training site that Salesforce will use for all their different modules and everything. So you need to sign up for an account for this. I've already got one that I signed up for, and I tied it to my LinkedIn account, which is great. All right. And it should pop up pretty quickly. And here you go. And in the Trailhead site, you're going to get the ability to earn all kinds of badges, do trail mixes, and take all kinds of training modules. After a while, it'll start recommending modules for you, what some of their newest badges are, what some of their training badges are. One thing you'll notice when you get in, on the Learn tab, there's trails and trail mixes. And trails are independent modules that you can take to teach you a very specific thing in Salesforce. For instance, protecting your Salesforce data trail. And it's going to have like 3 or 4 different modules inside of it that you'll take to advance towards earning this badge right here. And if you want to have a series of those that all lean towards a specific topic, you can create what's called a trail mix. And I have a few trail mixes I've set up already. And they have some too, that you can get some predetermined trail mixes. One of the more important ones you'll want to take, if I go into my completed trail mixes, is right here, is the trail mix by Salesforce Trailhead for prepare for your Salesforce admin credential. And when you go into that credential, you'll see all the different badges and modules that you'll need to go through to complete the trail mix. And sometimes they're quite a bit, and some of them even contain these things called super badges. And what a super badge is it allows you to try out what you've learned in a real world situation. They're going to throw a business objective at you, and through that you've got to kind of create what the best process is to complete that business objective. It does kind of guide you a bit, but on the super badges there's way less guidance there, so you have to give it a lot more thought, and these take a lot more time than a regular badge would, like right down here in data modeling. And then you can look up here and go to your profile, and it'll show you how many badges you've collected and how many points you've gotten for your badges and your trails completed. Right now I'm at the Expeditioner level. My next level that I'm trying to get to is Ranger. You can look at your different ranks, and you earn your first badge with 200 points. You're a hiker, adventurer, mountaineer, expeditioner, and I've seen people that are like 7 times Ranger. They'll have 700 badges and more points than you would know what to do with. And what else on the profile is pretty interesting? Oh, your badges. You can link to all of your badges here and see what all you've completed. And you have a report here, which kind of shows you which way you're leaning in your skills so far. All right, and then your About Me stuff. And so that's Trailhead. It's a good place to start learning. If you're going for your admin certificate, I would start off here first, and then look into something like the Udemy training courses. Let me go there real quick. And Mike Wheeler has a really good set of courses on Udemy that I would really recommend. And I went into the course. I was trying to see if I could get, like, I'll tell you what, let's go to their main site and let's look for Salesforce admin. And then you could look at the different courses that are available. The ones by, like I said, by Mike Wheeler have really been helpful for me. He's really good at, it's almost like you've gone to one of those computer training classes that your company sends you to that last for 5 days, where the instructor's going to give you everything that you need to know, for that course. He's real good on this administrator course, not the classic administrator, it's the lightning administrator I'd really recommend. These right here, it'll have the lightning bolt, and I think there's 4 parts for his administrator class. And when you purchase those and you go through all of those, it really gets you prepared for a lot of your fundamentals that you'll need to pass the administrator training course. And then after Udemy, I kind of heard about this other one, which was Focus on Force. And Focus on Force sells a couple of books here. My course is. And you'll see that Focus on Force, I've gotten the Administrator Study Guide and Administrator Exams. Now, just so you know, Salesforce Certified Administrator Exams here is not the actual questions that you're going to see on the exams, because it wouldn't make sense for you to learn the exact questions. Then you could just, get the right answers and pass a test without knowing anything. What it does is it'll teach you the topics you need to understand. If you can understand enough to pass these exams, you should understand enough to go out and pass the actual certification exam. It shows you how the admin exam is weighted, and different topical exams, like if you want to take an exam just on user setup, or if you want to take an exam just on security and access. So if you want to focus a little bit more on a specific field, you can take some practice admin exams, or you can just go through the whole admin question bank exam. And also, when it's the courses on Focus on Force, I have the study guide for it. And the different parts of the study guide you can go into, and you can get some really good information on each part. And think of it kind of like those Udemy videos from Mike Wheeler, but these are going to give you a little bit more, hey, focus on this and focus on this, to help you get through it. If you do both a Mike Wheeler and you do the Focus on Force, you're improving your chances. The Mike Wheeler to me was the main thing, but the Focus on Force after these was really helpful in getting me to pass the exam. So once you have those 2 down, once you've done your trailheads, you're pretty much set to take the exam. That's the training part of it. The other thing you're going to want to do for all of this is you're going to want to create a developer edition of Salesforce for you. And just look up Salesforce. And I'm doing it this way because, they could change the landing page by the time you've seen this. Developer. I probably should have done Salesforce Developer Edition. There you go. Developer.salesforce.com, sign up. And you'll go in here and you'll get your own free developer edition. You're limited to 2 user accounts in this edition, and you have to sign that you're not going to use it for legitimate business purposes. You're also limited to the amount of data and files that you can upload into it, so that's something else. Let's see. Just go through and sign up for that, and when you get done, you should have the ability to log into your own developer edition. like I have. And I've already gone through and customized some of mine and everything. It's helpful to have this before you go into Trailhead and setup, but when you sign up for Trailhead and you go and you take some of the modules, you can also launch a temporary environment to take that test in. You don't have to do the test or the practice in your development environment. But I use the development environment as kind of like my own practice area where I'm going to go do some non-Trailhead stuff inside of it. So, and I think eventually what I'm going to do is get an environment set up like this as a portfolio, and that way, you know, when I do get an interview or something like that, I can go in and take some of the some of my examples and show them, you know, what I've created. And there's also an app on Google that you can download, which lets you emulate. It's like Force One. There is a way to, let's see, move this window here. I thought I had, there's an app that you can download on the Google Exchange, which lets you emulate the Google app. I just wonder if it was something like Force One, or anyway, we're going to get onto that a little bit more too. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to waste too much time here. But for now, go out and do those two things first. Go get signed up for Trailhead, link it to your social media accounts, get your Trailhead environment, look at the different modules on there, create your plan. Look at also on Trailhead, you can look at Trailhead. You can look at the credentials path and the certification path. So you can click on certifications and they're going to give you, let me get my picture out of the way, some recommended certification paths. Like, for instance, if you want to go to be a Salesforce administrator, it's going to say, hey, take administrator, advanced administrator, platform app builder, CPQ specialist. I've completed administrator. I've decided to go next for platform app builder, not advanced administrator, because I want to also bleed over into developer. And under developer, you're going to see that platform app builder is kind of your first place to start there. Even if you're going to be a developer and you're going to follow this path, it seems like to me you would still want to take the admin test. To me, it seems like the admin is kind of the launching point for the Salesforce certifications. Maybe there's some developers out there that do not need to know the admin side, but you know, I can't see why. Platform app builder is the next one I want to go to, and then platform developer 1 is where I want to go to after that, and platform developer 2. I do see a lot more jobs listed for developer, and I've always been, you know, kind of somebody who picks up on programming anyway. Platform app builder is a development course, but it doesn't really go into any code at all. It is all based off of creating apps on the components inside of Salesforce without having to go to code. And from what I've heard, Platform Developer 1 is where you start getting into using some of the Apex codes and triggers, and Platform 2 is where you get into the more advanced concepts. I'm not too sure about these other certifications they have listed down here, Marketing Cloud Developer or Commerce Developer, because I'm not going to specialize that way. And if you've, you know, got it in you to do this, the Salesforce Architect, I've seen that's a lot of certification. I mean, app builder, developer, a lot, and you got to get both the applications architect and the system architect, and go through a panel review to get technical architect, which is basically your doctorate in Salesforce, I would think. There's a lot of certifications on that one. Anyway, go and try those two things. Look at Trailhead, play around in it, start building up some badges, go download your dev environment in Salesforce, get that set up. And then in a couple more days, I'm going to start off with the next part, which is making your own HR application inside of Salesforce. That's kind of one of the first things I want to play around with now that I have my administrator badge. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.